So welcome everybody. Thank you for spending part of your Friday morning with us as we talk about smart POS notices. I am Brittany and I'm joined by the lovely Christina, who will be helping to monitor chat and any questions you have. So feel free to put those questions in chat and Christina will either answer them there or will talk to me about it, and we'll try to navigate and figure out the answer for you. So without further ado, let me just make this a full screen here for a moment. And here we go. So smart POS notices is what we're talking about today. And it's all about personalizing every visit for your guests, plus making it really easy for your staff members, your tasting room staff members, to know who they're talking to and be able to engage with them in a way that is very personal for them based on their customer journey with you. So it's just a really cool functionality that is great to be able to incorporate into what you're doing. So let's take a look here. A few things we're going to talk about today. First of all, if you're here, you probably don't know a whole lot about smart POS notices. So we're going to just talk about, okay, what are they? How can they be used? And then we're going to look at some, take a dive into some examples of ones that are super effective that we've found. And then hopefully it'll be inspiration for you to explore it more and use them in new and wonderful ways. But we'll take a look at some of those great examples. So first of all, what are they? Well, they are timely messages that display in the POS at the time of the purchase. So your tasting room staff members behind the bar, person comes up, the customer comes up, staff members putting items into the cart, and a special message comes up based on whatever it is that the conditions are for that particular message. So it could be based on the order. It could be based on who the customer is as far as their lifetime value. It could be a number of things, and we're going to explore all of them today. And basically, I mean, it's a great win-win using these for both the guest and the staff member. So obviously, it personalizes that guest experience. We all know how important that is to make the guest feel heard and seen and feel important. So that's really, really cool. Secondly, it helps the staff members remember all the current offerings, remembering to encourage those upsells, remembering to, coax people into joining the club if you have one, things like that. I know that when I was working at a winery, spent a lot of time behind the bar, and we had sticky notes as far as the eye could see, usually during very busy times, like if it was summer with lots of events or during gift giving times at the end of the year. We had so many things going on that it was hard for us to remember all those things. So this is a great way to just put that message right in front of your staff so that they know what's up and they don't have to remember every little thing going on. So. All right, so let's talk about, we're going to be talking about 5 different types of or ways to set up the smart POS notices today and examples, but there are a lot more, as you'll see. These are just some that we've seen that work really, really well and are common. So the first one we're going to dive into is the one that has to do with quantity of the quantity of items in the cart or a minimum dollar threshold that's in the cart. So the first one we're going to look at is a case discount. Almost everybody has case discounts, especially in tasting rooms. So this is going to be a 12 bottles or more receives 20% off of the entire order. And then the second one that we're going to be looking at is orders of $100 or more receive 10% off of the order. So let's go take a look at how that will work. In just a moment. There we go. All right, so let's head into Commerce 7. And I'm on the dashboard. I'm going to go into settings and we're going to go into notices. Now you see I've created a bunch here because these are my examples for the webinar today, but we're going to create the first one from scratch so you can see kind of the anatomy of it and how to do it. So we're going to create that case discount first. So I'm going to add the notice. We're going to call it case discount, 20% off of the order. We're going to make sure the type is Smart POS. And down here, you can choose different colors for the backgrounds of your messages. So you might have, maybe you want red ones to be ones that, hey, I got to tell every single person about this, or maybe the blue is, just the discounts. Maybe yellow is something to do with club memberships. Whatever it might be, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to be using different colors in these examples today, just so you can see the different colors. For this one, I'm going to use blue. Start date is going to default to the date that you're creating this, but you can certainly change that if you need to. The end date is required. So if it's something that doesn't expire, just put it way in the future and it won't expire. And then down here, the conditions, this is where the magic happens, and you can base your conditions either on, base this operator here on all of the conditions or on one or more of the below conditions. In this case, there's just one condition, so I'm just going to leave it defaulted to all. And we are going to take a look here. Now you see here how robust this is. You can base these on so many different things, but in this case, it's going to be the cart item count is greater than or equal to, or you can do is less than or equal to, depending on what it is that you're accomplishing here. I'm going to keep this greater than or equal to. And I'm thinking that the sweet spot for asking someone to round up to a case would be 8 bottles. You may think it's 6 or 7. I'm going to say 8 for now. And then I'm going to save the notice. So what this is saying here is that if this condition is met, meaning that there are 8 or more bottles in the cart, it's going to have this notice that talks about that so that the staff can mention it to the person in front of them. So let's see what that looks like on the front, or not on the front end, over in POS. And let's take a look at one here. So I've created this cart here and I put 8 of the shards in there. There are 8 items. And sure enough, here is that notice that now I will be like, hey, guest number 1, guess what? If you just do a few more bottles, you'll get 20% off your entire order. So it's a great incentive. Back into Commerce 7, let's go back to our notices page here, and let's look at the other one that I was talking about, which is $100 plus receives 10% off the order. So let's go look at that one. Everything else up here is the same as I just did. I'm going to make this one yellow so we can see what the yellow message looks like. And then again, it's just going to be this one condition down here. But this is based, instead of on item count, it's going to be based on cart subtotal is greater than. And again, I was like, if I was a customer, when would I want to know that there was this deal going on? If it was like $45, it's kind of silly to say, oh, we'll round up to 100. But I think 75 is a good kind of round number to then encourage that person to upsell to the, at least the $100. So that's when it's going to appear. And we'll go ahead and save that notice. And a word about the sort order here. If an order meets the requirements for more than one notice, then only one is going to display. And the one that's going to display is the one that is on top. So if, for instance, I'm a customer and my order is eligible for both this notice and this notice, then this is the notice that's going to appear. If the one down here is more important business-wise, then you'll want to go ahead and move that guy up to the top so that that will be the one that will show. So that's a word about the sort order. Pardon me. So in this case, I want my $100 one. Now I'm going to be moving the sort orders for each of these just so I make sure that my examples do show the one I want that I'm showing the example of. So you won't be moving them around all the time, but I'm doing that today because I just want them to show. So here we are. We have our $100. Let's go take a look at what that one would look like. Let's look at David Lee Roth. He has $90 as a subtotal here. And because it's $90, it's above that $75 threshold I set for this notice. We now are going to encourage him to say, hey, 10 more bucks and you get 10% off your entire order. So very effective there. Let's now take a look at, go back to our slides here for a sec. So the next one I want to talk about is it based on customer type? And by customer type, I'm talking about types that are designated based on the customer journey. So for instance, it might be someone who has never purchased before. It might be a first-time customer, which is the one that I'm going to create here. A first-time customer is defined as someone who has purchased one time, but they haven't purchased again. So you want them to then become a repeat customer. And to do that, you want to provide them with some sort of incentive so that they will, in fact, go online, purchase some wine, come back to the winery, whatever it might be. The other customer types might be, again, that repeat customer. You might want to speak specifically to them, or a club member. So certainly your club members, you may want to give special attention to. So in this case, it's going to be this first-time customer. This is somebody who has purchased once, but I want them to become a repeat customer. So what I'm going to do is offer them a coupon so that they can get free shipping off their next web purchase. Might be something that you'd want to do to encourage them to hop online and order more wine. So there's that note here, that notice there. Gonna make this one yellow. Customer, again, this is one of the conditions here. Customer is equal to or not equal to, in this case, equal to, and then first time customer. And again, here you go. You may want to talk to your club member. You may want to speak to someone who has never purchased. You want to really give them really talk to them about a particular deal that you have going for people who have never purchased. But in this case, it's our first time customer. And we want to save that notice. And now let's go take a look. And actually, first thing I want to do is make sure it's up to the top, like I said, because I want it to show in my example. Here we go. Frank Sinatra, he's purchased once, but he hasn't purchased again. So now you have the incentive, or not the incentive, but the encouragement to say, oh, hey, how'd you like your last order? I see that, you've ordered before, and we'd love to encourage you to order again. So here is a special coupon for you. All right, let's now go over into, sorry, now I keep moving my screen here. That is not cooperating. I'm having a little bit of difficulty. Okay, here we go. Too many. There we go. Okay, back to the slides. So now let's take a look at another customer type, one that I want to call out here, is the high lifetime value person who hasn't joined the club yet. And so, you want to encourage that person. They'd be a great club member. Why shouldn't they do it? So being able to call that out and recognize that is super important in the moment. So let's go take a look at that one. And we're going to go into the high LTV non-club member. Scrolling down. Now this one is going to be all conditions, very intentionally here, because we want this person who is not a club member, but who has a lifetime value greater than $1,000. We want both of these conditions to apply in order for this notice to appear. So let's go over into here. Check one thing here, save that notice. And we want to make sure that this is at the top so we see it. And let's go into, yep, David Lee Roth again. He loves our wine, but he hasn't joined the club for some reason. So this is encouragement for your staff to talk to him about that. All righty, next we have skew in cart. So this is another condition, and it can be used for a couple of different things. Well, actually lots of things, but these are the ones I'm going to call out today. One is to recommend a bundle. So if they put in a particular bottle into the cart and it's part of an existing bundle, then your staff may want to say, hey, you know what? We have this bundle over here and it's actually a better deal and you'll get to try this other wine and whatever the sales pitch is. So in this case, I'm going to create one that is the Chardonnay or Rosé. Put either of those in the cart and then it will say, hey, recommend the bundle. So, and the other one I'm going to talk about here is more operational. So for instance, they put a harvest ticket in their cart and will want to make sure that the staff says, hey, just want to make sure that you know the legalities here, all sales are final, there are no refunds, dinner and wine is provided, et cetera, et cetera. It's just reminding the staff to mention that when that ticket is in the cart. And then the other thing I just want to call out here too, and this again is operational. Let's say it's something like physical gift certificates. They put that in the cart. And it very well could be, in this day and age of the internet, that's not something that is necessarily common, somebody wanting that physical gift certificate, especially if it's not a regular gift giving time. And so putting a message there as to, hey, staff member, you may not know where these are. They're over in cash drawer number 3, just letting them know, just so they're not having to hunt for it. You could put that message there for the staff. So let's go back to the Chardonnay or Rosé in the cart, recommend the bundle. We're going to do that one first. And there's my bundle there. And I'm actually going to move this up here now so I don't have to think about it in a minute. Clicking into there, we scroll down. And now this one is one or more of the below conditions. If I chose all, then that would mean that there would need to be both the Rosé and the Chardonnay in the cart for this message to appear. But in this case, I just want either the Rosé or the Chard so that the bundle message will appear. I'm going to save that notice. And let's go take a look at that one. So heading over here, heading into Johnny Cash, who added some Chardonnay. And you'll see here, suggest that Chardonnay and Rosé bundle. And then the operational one I wanted to show you was the one with the harvest ticket. So let's look at that guy. Party, sales are final. Whoops, let's move this guy. Move you up. Okay, let's look at this guy. Again, this is skew in cart is equal to the harvest party skew. That's the only condition I want to put on it. And let's go look. I think she put one in there. Yes. So here you are. And I made this one red because this one, it's operational. Definitely want to make sure that the staff mentions this. So I made it a little bit more poppy there. All right, just a couple more here to call out. So customer tags. So you can absolutely create customer tags based on, you probably know, based on almost anything when you're using like the customer queries, etc. So you can take any of those segments and then if that person comes into the tasting room and they put stuff in their cart, you can put something specifically for that person. In this case, I want to look at my people that I've tagged who have purchased the 2020 shard. They purchased it sometime in the future, or sorry, sometime in the past. And now you want to recommend the 2021 shard. So the first thing that you'd want to do is to create a query for that. And I'm not going to go deep into queries today, but I will show you what I did in the query so that you see kind of the what that looks like. So I'm going to head back into Commerce 7. We're going to first go into marketing and then down to queries. And then here's the query that I already built. We'll go look at what it looks like in a sec, but this is going to be the 2020 shard purchasers. I have 9 of them. And we're going to look at we're going to edit the set of conditions so you can see what I did. Again, it was super simple. I just wanted anyone who had purchased the 20 shard. And the way that I did that is that this is a customer query, but I chose the order here as for that operator because the SKU purchased exists in the order. So I did that. And then I created my, my tags from that, my tagged segment. So now when I go back into settings and notices, and I look at where are you? There you are. Look at this guy and scroll down. Now I'm able to choose tag as one of my conditions is equal to, and shard is my tag. So those were my tag. Those are my 9 people who purchased the 2020 shard. And now when that person comes into the tasting room and puts something in his cart, they will see. Oh, again, I want to make sure that I put this guy at the top. Let's see here. Where is he? I don't know why that one's hard for me to see. Let's put that guy at the very top. And then we'll go here. And let's go here. And there we go. So this person, Coco Chanel, she loves her Chardonnay, was purchasing, had purchased the 20, and now you want to suggest the 21 for her. And then our final one here is going to be birthdays. So if we head back into Commerce 7 and we take a look at our birthday, happy birthday. You can come down here and choose customer birthday is equal to either this month or today. I chose this month, so anyone in August is going to, if they're coming to your tasting room, put something in the cart, you're going to see that it's their birthday, and you'll be able to offer them up their 30% off. So let's go take a look at how that looks. Let me save this guy. And we're going to put our birthday message at the very top. And let's go over here. And we're going to look over here. And there we go. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Dick Valentine. Whatever you purchase today, because it's your birthday, you'll get 30% off. So that's it. That's my spiel. Those were all of my amazing examples. Christina, what have I missed?
Hi, everybody. I think that was very informative, Brittany, and I love it. I think nothing's been missed to what comes to the notices, and I think those were all great examples. I mean, if anyone has any questions, on any other setup, feel free to put it in the Q&A. I think we have one question in there, which is not really notices related, but yeah. Is there a way to bulk assign loyalty points to customers ourselves, or do we need to data migration person to do it? Bill is asking from Potter's Vineyards.
My understanding is that there is no way to bulk do it from admin.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't know is if that is something that could be done programmatically. I don't know the answer to that, but we can certainly find out.
Yeah, let me just keep a note of that.
All right.
That's the only question we have in here.
All right, we'll give it another minute or so, and certainly any questions you guys come up with afterward, you can reach out to us and we'll get that answered for you.
All right, we have your. Sorry for the deep technical question, but are these notices part of the customer record?
I don't know. Part of the customer
I think they just live in the POS, not necessarily directly under the customer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Get over there. Into POS. Our faces. Let's take a look. So are you saying, sorry, Christina, you're saying to, would we look at reports over here? No, these would be just the,
Oh, on the profile of the customer. So I think that's what they're asking. If, you know, if we mark, let's say someone as, you know, the part of the chart, if the notice would be living on the customer, it would not.
oh,
Like, in this
understood.
case, it would be living on the tag, right? They would be tagged with the chart, but you know, those POS notices would not be living directly on your customer.
Correct. Correct. Sorry, I misunderstood the question.
My little accent here.
No, it had nothing to do with that, Christina, with your beautiful accent.
Yeah, Bill, it's all about the loyalty points. I just have a question here from Bill on that. So I'll just email you separately, Bill, after today's webinar, just to make sure, and then see if your data partner could migrate it for you. Obviously, the better way would be to do it, you know, the one way or not the other way, like get your data partner to move them over, or you assign them manually so there are no duplicates. But yeah, I can follow up on that for sure. You're very welcome. Yeah, so not any other question. I think we have a little bit of time. If anyone wants to ask anything, all questions are welcome if we can answer them. And if not, we'll get back to you guys. Super nice to see some of the familiar faces here. Hi, Ken.
All right. Anything else coming in?
Nothing.
That's it.
Nothing. Just thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much for spending part of your Friday morning with us. And hopefully this was helpful. And certainly, you know, reach out to us with any follow-up questions if you have them. And we will see you on the next Free Training Friday. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Happy Friday.